What's up YouTube, it's Raid Hero here. I'm gonna deck profile the Nociel deck. I would have uploaded this a lot earlier, but I wasn't too comfortable with the deck at the time and I was doing a lot of testing, so now that I'm more acquainted with the deck, I can give you guys a proper deck profile. So starting off, starters Turiel. She's here because she is a net neutral, but she can get your chain going. She can also just get you out of a grade lock because of the low grade 3 count. And it's just an overall nice utility card to have, and you can potentially just get a card you need at that specific moment. And then triggers, we have the 4 Nociel stands, 4 Refros, 4 recyclable heals because we like the G guard, and it being able to go back to deck to prevent you from decking out could save your life too. And I personally run 4 crit instead of the draws because those crits save lives, put your opponent to high damage to end games quicker, and you know, crits are crits, they're pretty busted. Grade 1s, 4 grade 1 Nociels. Very self-explanatory. You want 4 because hand swapping, so you can plus on their turn. It really combos well with Broken Hearts, so you can just keep a chain going and get huge Vanguard power because of the Broken Hearts, and you draw a ton of cards unless you have really bad luck like me. Perfect guards, running 4 non-G perfect guards because you might want to like perfect guard or rear guard. I mean, you can dismal too, but there's just those such situations that sometimes people bash rear guards really hard. So there's that, and you don't need the G on flipping. I mean, it kind of helps, just so you can do the chain more, but you can honestly live without it. 3 grade 1 Pegasi. Some people run it at 2, but I kind of like it there just in case you can't get your Broken Heart, since there's a chance that, you know, they will just retire it or something and you need a fallback to get big numbers, or else you don't push very hard. And I'm running 2 Stride Fodders to round off the grade 1s. I was running 3, but I made a change in the deck, so there's just 2 now. In case you don't know, you actually don't stride all the time in this deck because you abuse the draw engine on some turns, so you just ref roast at GB1 and you just try to draw a bunch of cards, and then you can go back to striding while still getting decent pressure. Grade 2s, 4 grade 2 no-seals. Basically, you're running 4 of every no-seal, so it helps a lot. This is really nice on the stride turns when you're stridden into this no-seal, because hand swaps, you can do fun stuff like calling your grade 1 no-seal behind or something, like as a booster. Put it into your damage zone, call it a different card, use her hand skill to use one of the cards you draw check to swap, and if you had a Broken Heart, you can get more boosts that way too. Really cool. And helps you get out of your grade locks too if you damage a no-seal, and you can just call it and then hand swap and get your no-seal without minusing. And then 4 Broken Hearts because she's broken. Yeah, she's your basic offensive and defensive card in Angel Feathers. It's pretty standard in every build. I shouldn't really have to be explaining why you're running this card in Angel Feathers. And this is a card that apparently some people don't like, but for Sario, because you're running such a low grade 3 count, you need ways to fish, and you might just have to bite the bullet and not ride to 3 on your first rides, like I've done pretty often because I'm just not getting the grade 3s to hand, so you need ways to get it, and she helps. You do need 2 face-up counterblast to effectively use her though. Be careful about that. 1 Pegasus comes in clutch in time because this deck goes into time a lot. As fast as you play, some matchups are just too slow and grindy where your game 1 could take all of the 40 minutes, and you're just kind of awkwardly going into other games, and this will come in clutch, put you to lower damage, and you win through damage. It's also nice because you can heal too with Raphael if you're like, getting rushed really hard and need to come back and heal yourself, and then you can try to no guard, get some cards back. 2 Cray Elemental Unlockers to round off the grade 2s because you don't want to auto lose to Chaos and not be able to do anything. Just be very mindful about how you use it. It's really cool. You can combo with the Nociel so you can unlock cards in the battle phase. And if they go to damage, it's no big deal. Or you can hide them in the damage zone too, either or. And moving on to the grade 3s. For grade 3 Nociel, as I mentioned, kind of self-explanatory. So you realistically want at least 2 damage on your grade 3 ride. Try not to commit anything in the front row. I mean, rushing them down is great, but if they're smart, they'll bash your rears, deny you counterblast from plusing on the on-ride skill. So yeah, be very careful about that when you play this deck, if you play this deck. And also, yeah, you can use it with Refros. Pretty crazy. And last but not least, I'm running 1 Celestial Legion, specifically this one because it doesn't deck you out. Its Descent triggers back. It has messed me over several times. Oh, not several times, but I rarely get to use it, and if you ride it, you're in a really bad spot. So this is an iffy thing. It's like, because if you dig through your deck hard enough, this will help you in the late game, but this could also be a Gabriel. I actually lost the mirror match because they ran the Gabriel, and then that Gabriel defensive was able to keep them alive and was able to get them the broken hearts from the damage zone and stuff. And honestly, I think 1 Gabriel is a better tech option unless you find yourself decking out a whole lot. So yeah, there's that. And we're going to go to the G zone next. So because we like to stride and stuff, and GB1 is great in this deck, we run Seabreeze. So fun fact, Seabreeze, since he's an act, you can do all of your shenanigans with your on-ride Nociel, and even in the main phase, you can do swaps and then continue plussing as long as you have 2 face-up counterblasts at the end of all your plussing, which isn't too hard if you have some grade 2 Nociels. You just gotta be mindful, and then you can plus a bunch and then go into Seabreeze. So there's that. And then I run 3 grade 4 Nociels because the swap is great. It's basically your pressure engine in the deck, at least at a consistent rate because of her ability. It does do swaps like I mentioned with like your 6k Nociels, and like you get a lot of utility out of this one stride. You pretty much go into this all the time unless you really need to heal yourself or you're playing against Link Joker and then you gotta set up for something else. But yeah, really good card. 1 Fighters Collection stride. It's your new Blizza. It's just there basically to flip your Cray Elemental if you need to, which is your Seabreeze usually. You probably don't want to be flipping your G Guardian, but yeah, that's what it's there for the unlocker. And getting your GB2 online if you ran Gabriel in your build. 1 Uriel, she is just the fallback grade 3. If you have absolutely nothing going for you and you're in a very terrible spot, you can try to use her to get some board presence and just try to do something. Honestly, she almost never gets stridden, but it's just there for that safety net of desperately needing a stride to do something maybe. And 4 Raphaels because we like healing. So yeah, you basically just use her and then you can go back to lower damage to try to soak up more damage to draw more cards. That's how this build uses it, not so much the Gabriel where you just do it so you can soak up more damage to get more defensive by taking damage. And then I personally still run 1 Raziel because with double Broken Heart and Pegasi, you swing for huge numbers. It's pretty crazy. Honestly, really solid way to get pressure in. And you can be very mindful of your soul so you can use it with the unlocker if you need to. But yeah, really, just there for the really big push. you probably shouldn't be needing to do it twice because of the ability to kill with the other Nociel too. The great 4-1. Then we're moving on to G Guardians. 2 Dismal. You could arguably run 3. Really up to you. It's there really to protect the Broken Hearts because she is, as mentioned before, broken and you want to keep it alive as best you can. So you can protect it with the Dismal. I run 1 Screw. That's because this deck pluses a whole lot, so you can get a little more utility out of G guarding because the extra discard shouldn't hurt you that badly in most matchups, and it's a really big shield, so it will probably save your life every now and again. And 2 of just the Angel Feather, one that we got in Fire's collection. It's there for the 20k shield at late game, since in Nociel you generally just soak up damage to draw a bunch of cards, so you're more likely to be at 4 or higher, as opposed to Gabrielle, where you often see yourself lurking around 3 damage or so until you go into late game. But even then, you will be at 4 or 5 damage at some point, and you won't have to protect your Broken Hearts all the time, so it's up to you how many you want to run, because you could just run the 3 Dismal on one of that. And that should be the entire deck profile. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns about my deck or build or how to play it, let me know. I'll try my best to help you. I'm no expert in the deck, but I think I have a decent understanding of how to use it, so there's that, and I'll catch you guys later.